Yo, shout out to Jojo Romero for this article that I just read over on Phone Arena. She summarized it perfectly. She actually did the right thing. She shopped around when her cell phone plan pricing got to a point where she didn't want to pay that anymore. She was impacted by the price adjustments by T-Mobile, which T-Mobile claims, they haven't raised prices in 10 years, and the plan pricing is outdated and it needs to be adjusted, and people just need to pay more for the service. And I understand T-Mobile's position. I know they're going to do what they have to do. That's their business decision, and that's the risk they're taking, right? If they want to raise the prices on their customers, they run the risk of having customer churn. And then what ends up happening is you as T-Mobile have to fight back for that customer and likely make less money in the process, right? Because of acquisition costs. But when I was reading her article, and I'll link it for you guys, it'll be in the description, she spoke to the cost of having a single line or, some kind of a scenario where it's not multiple line, right? So you're not getting the most ideal pricing as it is. She mentioned how she lost quite a bit on her Magenta plan. She lost access to her international data, which she liked. She lost access to the ad version of free Netflix, T-Mobile Tuesdays. She did admit that she doesn't use all of that, and there were certain things that weren't really a big deal. But there were certain things about the plan she liked, and then there's certain things that she felt she could lose and it wouldn't be a big deal. So she lost some of those things, but she said, and this is a quote from her article, she gained something that she feels is more important, and that's predictability. She knows by switching to a prepaid MVNO provider, she's now going to be paying less per month, and it's not going to change. Because what happens in prepaid is you pay a certain cost, you agree to that cost. You don't really hear about price increases on those grandfathered plans. Like when people have them, they get to keep them as long as they're willing to pay their bill and the payments don't get disrupted. So you basically have what I call a competitive price lock. It's just competitive forces acting on the pricing. In prepaid and MVNO, the companies have to compete fiercely for the customer who is cost sensitive. So you don't have to actively do anything. So as T-Mobile continues to raise prices and try to make more revenue per user, and they start to raise prices on grandfathered plans, they run the risk of losing their business of those customers. Jojo said that she switched to a plan that costs $35 a month. I don't know who that is. She didn't want to mention it in the article, and I understand why. She didn't want to give free publicity, but US Mobile is probably in play. Total Wireless is probably in play. Visible Wireless is probably in play. Even Metro has plans that are cheaper than what T-Mobile offers. And then Cricket. Any of those could be on the table for her paying $35 a month or less. In fact, for $35, what you get with Visible Plus is crazy. What you can get from Mint Mobile on the T-Mobile network is crazy, right? You don't have to pay a lot of money. So if cost sensitivity is what's important, and you don't need trade-in deals on phones, and you're willing to deal with vendors and like the actual equipment manufacturers for your phone deals and all that, oh man, there's a much better way to do this. She's right. And maybe the predictability and the cost structure is more important, because I could tell you guys this: if Verizon raises another price hike, if AT&T does another one, you don't think T-Mobile's going to feel compelled to do it again? Let's just talk about how T-Mobile's been moving since 2020. So if you are cost sensitive, that's your move. This is not an argument about T-Mobile should raise prices because the network's getting better. This is not that video. This video is about people doing what's best for them if they are cost sensitive and they need to monitor their spending, especially in the time with economic uncertainty, with the jobs market potentially weighing in the balance, and people's employment risk being there, right? And inflation being up and all those things. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more of our videos. Drop me a comment on this concept and what you plan on doing moving forward. You guys are the best. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.